welcome back to Gracie May's Tarot. So today we're going to be finding out how will your future spouse change your life. So we have three groups to choose from today. For pile 1 we have the gray kitty cat pen. For pile 2 we have the brown kitty cat. And for pile 3 we have the black and white kitty cat. So take a moment if you need to pause the video, meditate on the groups. The timestamps are listed below in the description box, just like always, and let's get into it. Alright, all my pile 1s, if you chose the gray kitty cat, welcome to your reading. We're going to save that oracle card for the very end. First, we're going to start with your tarot. So pile 1, how is your future spouse changing your life? Let's find out, please, Spirit. How is pile 1's future spouse changing their life? And a big thank you to my guides and your guides for coordinating these messages. But let's find out, how will your life be changing, pile 1, through meeting your future spouse? How is your life changing? Pile 1, how is your life changing through meeting your future spouse? So we've got the 5 of Cups to start us out. Oh wow, isn't that a beautiful transition? We've got the Fool. Pile 1, please, Spirit. How is their future spouse changing their life? 7 of Cups. Okay. I really, really love this because I feel like your future spouse comes into your life at a time where you're feeling this sense of disappointment, but it's been more like a series of disappointment, okay? It's been sort of like this building and building where you've almost had to lower your expectations, and it's not quite, you're not quite pessimistic, but it's like you can't even fathom seeing any of these cups as half full. Like, you recognize and understand, like, they are empty, they are gone. It's more so you're like making peace with what you've lost, and you're taking an appropriate amount of time to grieve that loss. I feel like sometimes the 5 of Cups gets a bad rep because people will say, like, oh, it's like crying over spilled milk, or you're making a bigger deal than what it is, like you're not recognizing these 2 cups. And like, that is valid, but at the same time, it's also valid to grieve those losses. You know, we're not always meant to be happy all the time, right? And so when we lose things, yeah, it may take a moment for us to catch our breath, to make peace, to learn acceptance. Like, to me, this is a card about acceptance. Like, yes, it's great to be grateful and to be appreciative for what you have, but it's also valid to feel loss and to feel grief and to miss things that, you know, didn't work out. You know, sometimes it's not about like physical things that we lose. It's more so about the potential that we lose. You know, like if you, for example, had an ex that you saw an entire future with and it just didn't work out, it's okay to take time to grieve the loss of what could have been from your perspective, like what should have been even. That's okay, like that's valid. In fact, you should do that. You should process that. You should heal that. And I feel like through integrating this, through understanding it, that is going to come just with the passage of time. But I feel like your future spouse is going to come into your life when you're in this energy still. Okay, when you're trying to accept these losses, when you're trying to move on, but you're just not quite there yet, your future spouse comes in and they bring a wave of hope, of optimism, of this sort of like reset. It's like a reset of your entire perspective, your entire outlook on life. You're no longer bothered by these 3 empty cups anymore. You know, like you're seeing life now as something that is full of possibilities with the 7 of Cups. You know, it's sort of like, well, I can continue to be sad and upset that these 3 cups have fallen over, or I can look at it from a perspective of, wow, I get to fill up these 3 cups now with something entirely new, and I get to decide, I get to choose, it's my choice. it's sort of like your future spouse reminds you that you are in the driver's seat. Like, you get to determine the course and the outlook of your life. You're not a victim of circumstance. And it's just very empowering, but it's also a return of fun. Like, I feel like that lighthearted energy is something that you've been missing, something that you've been craving. And so they really bring in just this new, just this sunnier outlook is how I would describe it. Let's get some more information about how your future spouse transformed your life here. We've got the Four of Swords. How is pile one's future spouse transforming their life? We've got the Hanged Man, and we have Death. So literally a new perspective, right, with the Hanged Man. Like, I love how that lines up perfectly with the Fool card. This is your fresh perspective. Like, you now have a more hopeful, happier, sunnier outlook. Like, you just, it's sort of like a new lens drops over your life, and now you see things from a rosier, happier perspective in a good way, you know? Yeah, you're sort of able to cut ties with the past. It really feels like a new, fresh chapter. And it also feels like a time of restoration and healing and rest. I feel like your future spouse comes in and they introduce this idea of restfulness, of taking a break, of being gentle with yourself, of it's okay to take your time to heal. It's okay also if you change your mind. I love that Death is lining up with the Seven of Cups here, because you may have people in your life who make you feel guilty when you change your mind, when you change your direction. You know, maybe they've pigeonholed you into this certain, this certain label, this certain idea that they have of you, and your future spouse comes in and says, no, it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to change your beliefs. It's okay to change your style, your hobbies, your interests. It's okay to change whatever you want to change. Like, this is your life. So it's okay for you to go through these transformations. Like, you don't have to stay the same. You don't have to stay stagnant for anybody. And if you want to change your course in life, that's on you. Like, this is your life. I feel like they're someone who's incredibly supportive of your independence, your choices. You know, that's something they really value, and it's something that they sort of share with you, because maybe you're more mindful or more careful about how you're perceived by other people. Or maybe it's important for you to make certain people in your life proud, but your future spouse sort of really pushes you to be proud of yourself, to think of yourself first and what's going to make you happy. That's a big theme here, I feel like. Yeah, and with the Four of Swords, everything just feels more peaceful, more calm when they come into your life. You know, you're having fun and you're not taking things so seriously, so things don't feel quite as heavy, and you are able to rest without that feeling of guilt, like you're not doing enough. You know, if you're someone who's maybe a little bit more type A, maybe you feel guilty if you procrastinate, or if you take rest, you feel like that's not productive. They really teach you the value of that, because I feel like a big theme here too is that they really want you to take care of yourself. And it's sort of like they want to take care of you, but they understand that you have to take care of yourself as well. And they don't like seeing you overwork yourself. That's also a message here. They don't like you being so hard on yourself, because maybe you blamed yourself for these fallen cups. They don't want you to blame yourself. They want you to handle yourself with gentleness and care. There's also sort of this message here about you being very maternal, and they kind of want you to turn those feelings of mothering to yourself. Like, they want you to share that good energy with yourself. They don't want you to give it all away to everyone else. They're like, you deserve to take care of you too. You don't have to carry everyone else's burdens. Okay. I feel like we've gotten everything we can get from the tarot. So let's move into your Oracle pile one. How is your future spouse changing your life? So it looks like for right now, what I'm seeing is, like I said, more rest, but also more fun, and really an internal mindset shift. And it feels like they're very protective over you as well. just to summarize, but let's see what else we can find out. Pile 1, how is your future spouse changing your life? Pile 1. That's too many cards, I don't want that many. Pile 1. Pile 1. You got my favorite card, I'll go ahead and say that. This card is actually the whole reason why I purchased this deck. I was just in love with this card. Okay, bottom of the deck we have Peachy Paradise, enjoy the view in front of you, happiness, contentment, and gratitude. This is, I think, probably the happiest card in this deck, so I love to see this as your bottom of the deck energy. It tells me that when your future spouse comes into your life, this is really a time where you feel your happiest. You know, you feel content. You don't feel that sense of loss and grief. You know, I think this is really, maybe even for some of you, the first time in your life where you are actually living in the present moment and you're not worried about the future and you're not obsessing over the past. You've made peace with the past and you are looking forward to the future, but you're not living in the future. You are keyed into the present moment. And I think it's really your future spouse's like good influence on you, because I think that comes easier to them than it does to you. Okay, so let's see over here. We have, let me just make sure you guys can see that. Not so great. Okay, we will move these back over. Okay, so we have Grandma's house. You don't have to face everything alone. Comfort, nurturing energy, and support. Yeah, like I said, this is my favorite card in this deck. It makes me so happy because it feels like this Five of Cups, I mean, you were dealing with this on your own for a long time. And like I said, I feel like you are still in this energy when you meet your future spouse. You know, and even the Four of Swords, I mean, this is still isolation. So the fact that when they come in and they help you and they're like, no, like, I'm okay to sit with you in this energy. Like, I'm okay to hold space for you in this energy. Like, just their willingness to be there with you through the downs, you know? And the way that they help build you back up with the Ancient Ruins card, build a castle from the ruins, devastation, loss, and old wounds. You've been through a lot, and you're under this sort of period of time where you're going through this metamorphosis, right? And it's like your future spouse comes in right when you're on the cusp of becoming, right when you're on the cusp of starting a new chapter, when you're on the cusp of finally healing, finally going through this death, this transformation. It's very like butterfly cocoon kind of imagery. We even have the butterflies here. So yeah, there's this period of like things are still in flux. There are a lot of things that are still uncertain in your life when your future spouse comes in, and they help you build. And part of what they're helping you build is they're building back up you. They're building up your self-confidence, your self-worth, your sense of direction. And it's not that they're healing you because you've been doing this work for a while on your own, but it's like they help you with that final push that you need. They come in at the end and they help you overcome the last hurdle. And they're like, you've been carrying all this around for so long on your own. Let me help you. Let me help you. You don't, and there's this feeling of like you don't have to be perfect to accept or to receive this person's love. This person's existence in your life is not a blessing because you're perfect. It's a blessing because you're trying to be the best version of yourself, and the universe is recognizing that effort. Okay? And so they're building you back up and helping build you back up again in that last hurdle because you've been doing the work. That is what is going to transform those external circumstances with that Five of Cups that you're not quite happy with. And it's like they just show you possibility. They show you possibility with that Seven of Cups. They remind you of possibility, of what can, of what is on the other side of grief and loss. Like, what is on the other side? There is light. There is light. And I feel like you've been missing it for a while. And so yeah, there's this sense of comfort and this feeling of finally finding someone that feels like home, that feels like family. You know, someone who's always going to accept you. You know, someone who's not going to kick you when you're down or judge you or, you know, see you as less than because you're a human being going through a human experience. You know, like we all go through this. So it doesn't make any sense to kick someone when we're down. You know, we all go through tough cycles, and yet this happens, right? So to have someone who says, like, you don't have to go through it alone, I mean, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. I feel like what they're adding to your life isn't quite tangible. You know, it's a feeling they give you. It's the love they give you. It's the support. It's not material things necessarily. It's the intangible, but what they're giving you has so much value beyond material, if that makes sense. Let's see what else we can find out. Oh wow, that was a terrible shuffle. Sorry guys. All right, we'll get it together. There we go. All right, pile one. What value is pile one's future spouse adding to their life? How is their life changing as a result of pile one's meeting of their future spouse? How is their future spouse changing their life? Transition. Did I not say, like, you're on the cusp? You're on the cusp when you meet them, and they help you with that final shift. They help you clear out the Five of Cups. They help you go through that death card energy. You're going through a lot, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually when you meet this person, a lot. And I think that's what helps you feel so safe with them, because they see you in this vulnerable state and they don't take advantage of it, which is incredible, right? Oh my gosh, regeneration. Yeah, that's you. You are going through regeneration. And trust. Yeah, the trust is going to be so incredibly deep with this person. Protection. I did say they were very protective over you. Yeah, the feeling here is definitely one of transformation, transition, closing out old cycles, starting new chapters, starting a new cycle, leaving behind the old, welcoming in the new. I mean, it's just like you could meet this person in the springtime, because this is like your entire like relationship in the beginning, I think is a metaphor for spring. Like it's the energy of spring. It's the energy of renewal, regeneration, transformation, transition. You trust this person because they see you at your weakest, and they love you, and they give you love, and they give you support. I feel like they also add, it's that family element. They feel like family, but they also add this feeling of true partnership. Like you feel like you have a best friend in them. That's coming through pretty strongly. I love all these cards because I feel like they just echo everything that we've been saying. And I feel like too, like this is going to be such a shift in you that everyone takes notice. Everyone takes notice. I feel like it's not only a change in your perspective, but I feel like with your newfound like confidence, just the way you walk into a room, maybe even you're going to go through kind of like a glow up, because you're just going to be happier. And when you're happier, that light shines outwards. You know, it changes everything about you. And so I could see you like maybe starting to wear clothes that you've always wanted to wear, but maybe you didn't have the confidence to wear before. Or maybe you're just feeling really good about your health and your body, and you know, you're walking, like I said, shoulders back, head held high. You're not looking at the ground. You know, I think you're more sociable. I think you're just more open to new experiences. I think those trust issues you may have had in the past are resolved. And I feel like you really feel like you're more willing to try new things, you know, like you're willing to put yourself out there more. Things that you are afraid to do, especially in social environments, I don't think is a problem anymore. I think your social circle is also going to widen as a result of meeting this person. Balance, okay. With this maturity here, I feel like you just grow a lot. And I feel like part of that is learning how to stand in your own power. You know, your self-worth or your self-confidence, I don't think is dependent upon external validators or praise from other people. I feel like you really start to see your own inherent value as a result of this person's love. You know, like through them loving you, they kind of teach you how to love yourself. Because I feel like on some days, maybe that's a struggle. Maybe that's a struggle on some days. And balance, yeah, they just bring so much peace and harmony to your life. I feel like if you're someone who tends towards anxiety or you worry a lot, they just make everything seem so simple. You know, like when you talk things out with them, you're like, why didn't I think of it that way? You know, like they just make everything feel easy. You know, things just flow. I think they bring more luck into your life too, because you're not so anxious, you're not so worried about things, you're not so fixated on certain things that you can't change. And so that even just helps with like the law of attraction. Like you just manifest things easier because you're not so worried and so like, you know, that sort of like uptight, like control feeling. Like now you're more easily able to co-create with the universe. I feel like with confusion, that's kind of interesting to me because it almost feels like you're going through so many changes that of course that's going to feel overwhelming. And meeting this person represents such a radical shift sometimes because healing and becoming and transitioning and transforming and regenerating and like returning to that reset, returning to that childlike optimism of youth, that is not always a linear process, right? Like some days we fall back into old patterns, old habits, old limiting beliefs, and sometimes that can make you feel a bit mixed up. So I feel like that's something just to be mindful of, is that this person represents such a new wave of energy that sometimes it could be overwhelming, and sometimes you do need to get in that Four of Swords, take a time out and rest. Definitely take some time to rest. But you're going through a lot, and this is like huge shifts, so it makes sense that you may feel a little bit confused, a little bit in your head sometimes. But I also feel like just looking at the imagery on this card, it also makes me feel like you're just going to be daydreaming more. It's funny because it's like you're keyed into the present moment more than you ever have, but it's sort of like you can also simultaneously hold a vision in your head of what you want the future to be. Not worrying about what's going to happen in the future, but what you want the future to be. You have a clear vision. And I think where the confusion comes in is you're sort of like, why didn't I see this before? You're almost kind of beating yourself up a little bit. I do think you're hard on yourself. You're beating yourself up a little bit because it's sort of like, why couldn't I see this before? It was right there in front of me. Like, why couldn't I just admit this is what I wanted? Why did I have to make it so hard? Why did I have to listen to all these other people or societal expectations? Why couldn't I just say this is what I want? And seeing them lay it out on the table, and I think it's a lot of it isn't them telling you what to do or how to think, not at all. It's just their energy and being around them and how they love you and the way they live their life is a source of inspiration to you. But I do feel like because there's so many new ideas and this whole new way of existing that has opened up to you, yes, at times that is confusing and overwhelming. So that's just something to be mindful of. Okay, let's look at what zodiac sign you're going to be embodying at this time. So what influence is this person going to have on you? What influence will pile one's future spouse have on them? What energy will they be embodying at this time? What zodiac sign will they be embodying? Ooh, Virgo. Virgo energy. I really, really like this because I almost feel like, even if this isn't your sun sign, I feel like there's some quality of Virgo about you where you are like very detail oriented. You can get fixated on things. You can be a perfectionist. We did talk about that earlier, of like feeling like you needed to be perfect to deserve love. And I think I even mentioned that uptight kind of energy, but being hard on yourself, being self-critical. And I feel like the future spouse, your future spouse, the future spouse, your future spouse comes in and they help you utilize those qualities, integrate those qualities in a way that is helpful and not detrimental to you. And you can be in the higher vibration of Virgo. You can be like what Virgo is meant to be, not the debilitating aspects of Virgo. You can be the positive side, the good communicator, the hard worker, the person who gets things done. Like Virgo always is like that person who gets things done, but also someone who infuses like beauty into their work. And I mean, I really think of like Beyonce, like you're gonna be on your Beyonce energy when this person comes in, so that's beautiful. All right, let's end your reading with your oracle card. So let's see what we have. Okay, we have beauty. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. And I mean, these go really well together as well. But with beauty, we have, when beauty is felt from within, your gorgeousness will glow. Remember what I said in the beginning, there are so many internal changes happening within you when you meet your future spouse, and they bring about the last like final stage of change in you, that final like push to get you through this like full metamorphosis. And remember I said that inner happiness, that inner self-assurance and confidence and feeling of self-worth is going to shine outward, and you're going to change even your external appearance. You're going to have a glow up because you're going to just carry yourself differently. You're going to feel more free to wear and dress how you want to dress. You'll show up how you want to show up. You'll express yourself in a way that feels authentic to you. You'll be more sociable, more, just feeling free and comfortable in your own skin. And that is going to be what makes you so beautiful during this time period. So much beauty is being added to your life, and it starts within you. It's all starting within you. Beautiful. All right, pile one. This was your reading. I hope it resonated. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you always know when I upload. If you want to see more future spouse readings, let me know. Or if there are any other love readings that you're interested in seeing, just let me know. Take care, pile one, and I will see you in my next one. All right, on my pile twos, if you chose the brown kitty cat, welcome to your reading. So we're going to put that aside because we'll look at your oracle card at the very end of your reading. We're going to start with your tarot cards. And let's see, pile two. How is your life changing as a result of meeting your future spouse? How's your future spouse changing your life? And a big thank you to my guides and your guides for coordinating these messages. Pile two. How is your life changing? How is pile two's life changing, please, Spirit, as a result of meeting their future spouse? What changes will their future spouse bring to their life, please, Spirit? Pile two. Ooh, we have the Six of Swords. Okay, already this is... this seems like a big change. Let's see what else we get. The High Priestess. I don't know why this card is just calling to me. Temperance. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. I'm going to do your group a little bit differently and go ahead and get your bottom of the deck. Not your bottom, your bottom row. With pile 1 I waited, but I'm gonna go ahead with you guys. We have the Star, and there was a card that flipped over that I just noticed. Death. Okay. You love how dramatic that was. Death. Okay. Pile 2. Wow. Remember, like, when the Six of Cups came out, I was like, I'm not the Six of Cups. The Six of Swords came out, I was like, this is already feeling like a big change. And then you get 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana cards. Like, come on now. So with the Six of Swords, movement, okay, movement. There is a change that's going to happen. I think for a lot of you, your future spouse is going to represent a physical move. So either they're going to be moving in with you, or you are going to be moving to be closer to them. You're going to move in with them. I mean, obviously it's your future spouse, so you're going to share a home together eventually. But I think for many of you, could be that your future spouse is someone who is long distance to you. They don't live in your immediate area. Now, long distance doesn't have to mean they live in another country or another state. It could just be that they're a couple hours away from you, or that they live across town and you live in a huge city where there's horrendous traffic and it takes a while to travel to each other. You know, just take whatever resonates. But I do feel like there's a move in physical location. Like, that is coming through pretty strongly. I also feel like in general, your future spouse coming into your life with the Six of Swords, it talks about leaving behind things that don't serve us and moving in a more positive direction. So that's a great sign for your marriage, that your marriage is representing a change, a shift in course, where you're going in a better direction. So maybe your future spouse is like the first person in a long time to actually treat you well or treat you the way that you deserve. You know, maybe you've dated a string of, okay, I feel like your guides are being a little bit, I feel like your guides are being a little bit shady because string of losers just pops up into my head. I'm sorry. I feel like you've dated people who were unkind to you, or people who couldn't love you the way that you needed. And so, yes, there's been some disappointment there, and your future spouse just represents someone who is wanting to treat you well, someone who would be good for you, someone who you would be compatible with, someone that represents long-term stability. And I say that too because we have Temperance here and we have the Queen of Pentacles. And having balanced energy and then also having the stability and security of the Pentacles energy makes me feel like this is a really spiritually nourishing connection, but it's also a connection where practically things work out really well. So this would be someone who, you know, living together is a breeze. You know, it's not a huge struggle. You know, you guys have the same perspective on finances, on delegation of like household responsibility, stuff like that. You guys see eye to eye. So I think that's gonna help signal some long-term success in your marriage, which is great. And also willingness to compromise. I think in the past maybe you were with people who were not willing to talk things out. They weren't willing to compromise, and you had to do all the heavy lifting. That is a thing of the past. I also feel like when this person comes in, they really sort of put you in this high priestess energy because you feel like you are powerful. You feel with the Star card that this is someone that you manifested. It really represents an entire, I won't say spiritual awakening because I do feel like you guys are already spiritually aware, but it's almost like a rebirth in your spirituality where your spiritual path deepens. I said path really weird, sorry, but it feels like you feel so connected, so in tune with spirit. You are the high priestess, like in a way that you never have before. Like you feel like you can trust yourself, you can trust your intuition. And it kind of makes you feel like, wow, if I can manifest this great, incredible person, this life partner, then the sky is the limit. I can manifest anything. And I feel like it starts this whole new wave of faith and gratitude and belief. And you start really getting in that creative energy, and you start really looking at your life and assessing it. It's beautiful because this is you. Like, you are showing up in this Queen of Pentacles energy, but you are also showing up in this High Priestess energy. With Temperance here, I mean, talk about balance. Like, you are balancing spirituality with practicality beautifully. And it's from this person. Like, this person, you're like, this is such a blessing. I manifested this person. So what else can I create? What else do I want to change about my life? Let's assess. And so you start assessing with that Queen of Pentacles. You're like, okay, what's not working out? Let's fix it. Let's get our manifestation going. Like, what do I want to change? And with the High Priestess, like, you know intuitively where you're meant to go. You know what direction you should be headed towards in all major areas of your life. And so with the Star card, like, you get busy. You start creating again. And so there's just this entire transformation of your life. I feel like your life circumstances change entirely with this person coming into your life. Like, if you can point to any other area outside of your love life where you are not happy, like, you're like, this isn't, or like, this is just meh, this is just okay. I know I'm settling in my career, or I'm settling in my friendships. You know, I'm not really hanging out with people who want the best for me. Like, you know, I've outgrown this social circle. Like, whatever the case may be, you're assessing these areas of your life, and you're like, okay, I'm going to co-create with the universe, and I am going to manifest the external changes that I want to see, because I know that I can do it, because I manifested my future spouse. So it's like this wave of inspiration that comes to you. We don't have the Empress here, but I'm getting a lot of like Empress energy here too, of like just creation. Like, I'm gonna create my dream life, and I know I can do it, which is beautiful. So yes, major transformation. Let's see what else we can find out. Pile 2. What else can we find out? How is Pile 2's future spouse changing their life, please, Spirit? Pile 2's future spouse. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, so bottom of the deck, we have alien planet, make yourself at home, adaptability, change, and originality. It says all we have is now. So I do feel like you're creating sort of like heaven on earth for yourself. You're like, what does my dream life look like, and how can I get there? You're feeling so inspired. Okay, so you may have also been drawn to Pile 1. If you weren't, don't worry about it. But if you were, maybe check out Pile 1, just with the way this is laying out so far. But we have afterlife, where are we going now? Transition, transformation, and rebirth. I mean, death card, hello. Like, 6 of Swords, hello. Yeah, I would say definitely you're going through a change. You're going through a transition. And it's like, okay, what now? Because I feel like for some of you, you have been so focused on improving your love life, on manifesting your dream partner. Like, you have been so focused on that maybe you were just accepting other things in your life, or maybe you knew they needed to be changed, but you weren't like putting your full effort into that. And I feel like once your future spouse comes in, it's almost like, okay, done, like, goal achieved. I've manifested the best partner for me. Now that I have my teammate, what else do I want to do? Because now I have their support as well. So like, the sky is the limit. Like, let's go, let's do this. Yeah, you are in this like go-getter, like ambitious energy with your future spouse, like coming into your life. You're like, let's just change it up. Like, let's just shift up everything that is not serving me. Like, let's just get rid of it. Shift up is a weird phrase. I don't know why. I meant to say mix up, but anyway, okay, doesn't matter. Sky Library, learn from your past, lessons, guidance, and wisdom. I do feel like your future spouse is someone who may have more life experience than you in some areas, and I do feel like you really appreciate their guidance. I feel like your future spouse is someone who gives really solid practical advice, like so practical. I don't feel like they are as spiritually oriented as you are, but I feel like it balances you out really well. And I feel like it's sort of what also allows you to attract this person in, because when you step into that Queen of Pentacles energy, because I feel like your natural mode is the High Priestess, but I feel like when you step into that Queen of Pentacles energy, but you still remember your High Priestess, like, you know, you balance that out with Temperance, I feel like that is what calls in your future spouse and what attracts them to you, okay? Because you're both different than them, but they can also see themselves in you, and so it's the best of both worlds, right? And that's what makes you guys such a great match. But I feel like they really help you with that. They really help you learn from your past so you can now see where you want to go. I feel like they reveal to you a very clear vision of the future. And then we have Peachy Paradise, enjoy the view in front of you, happiness, contentment, and gratitude. Pile 1 also got this card, and it's like the happiest card, I think, in this deck. Makes me excited to see that already 2 out of 3 groups got this card, because it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, they bring in happiness. They make you happy. What more could you want? Like, someone to make you happy, like, that should be the end goal, right? And so the fact that they're bringing that in. But I also feel like for your group in particular with this card, enjoying the view in front of you, for Pile 1, it was a lot about internal changes. For you all, it's more about the external. And so with that, enjoying the view in front of you, like, you're looking around at your life and it's finally lining up with what you want, okay? Like, this person comes in, you understand your own power now. You're like, I am the magician, I can manifest, I am the empress, I am the creator. And so with your future spouse and their really good practical advice, you start to change up what isn't working out in your life. And so over time, you start to look around at your life and you finally love the life that you're living. You love the friends that you have. You love the home that you're living in. You love your job. You love the area that you live in. Like, you know, whatever the case may be, in your external environment, you are finally content and happy with your surroundings. Doesn't mean your life is absolutely perfect. No, but you enjoy the view in front of you. The life you're living is yours, and you feel ownership of it. It no longer feels like you're living someone else's life, someone else's vision. Okay. Let's find out, Pile 2, how is your life changing as a result of your future spouse? Ooh, refinement. When this card comes out, I always think of being meticulous and being very discerning and looking and seeing where things need to be altered or changed. And for some of you, it's not about necessarily making dramatic changes in all areas of your life, although I do feel like there is significant change happening, okay, for sure, but not maybe necessarily in every single area of your life. Some areas of your life may just need some subtle tweaks. Like, for example, you know, I don't need to cut off this friend, but I do need to learn how to set boundaries with them. Or, you know, I don't need to completely change my career field, but I don't need to work for this agency anymore. Or I need to request that I no longer work this shift, or I'm no longer on call. You know, things like that, like subtle changes will actually in some ways make a major difference in your life. You know, maybe you don't move to a different city, but you move to a different neighborhood, that kind of thing. So I feel like even the small changes that you make in your life as a result of meeting your future spouse are really going to add up. So pile 1 also got protection. Can we clarify protection for pile 2, please, Spirit? Can we clarify this protection card? Oh. Okay, we got stimulation with the chili peppers, and we've got protection with the onion. To me, it's funny. I'm thinking of like Shrek, like onions have layers. I'm feeling like there's many complexities to your dynamic with your future spouse. I feel like in some ways they also, it's funny because you're in this crazy like empowered state, taking control of your life, but at the same time you are also feeling like you're finally part of a team with someone else. And so it's funny, it's like at the most independent time of your life, you also have a true partner. And so it's this weird, like, complex dynamic that exists, but I think it's because you two really are like a true power couple. And I also feel like your future spouse is so protective over you, but they don't necessarily vocalize that because they really respect your independence and how you are tough on your own. And that aspect of you really turns them on. Like, that aspect of you really makes them attracted to you. Like, they admire your passion, they admire your ambition and the way you just go after what you want, and that fearlessness and that impulsivity. And I think they really kind of slow you down when you need to be slowed down, but they also like they feel that feeling of protection over you, but they don't act upon it. They let you do your own thing because they know you can handle yourself and they trust that you can handle yourself. So it's very sweet. It's like, oh, I just want to protect them, but I know they got this, so I'm going to step back and I'm going to let them do their thing. And if they need me, they know I'm here, but until they ask, I'm just going to be over here on the sidelines, like, cheering them on. Like, that's the kind of dynamic I see. And they have a lot going on themselves. I will say that. Okay, so let's see. Let's find out what zodiac sign you are embodying during this time in your life. So this doesn't have to be, obviously, your sun sign. Although it would be kind of cool if it was. Okay. What zodiac sign is pile 2 embodying in their life as a result of meeting their future spouse? How is their future spouse changing? Oh my gosh, you also got Virgo. Okay, pile 1 got Virgo as well. So if you were drawn to pile 1, that could be a possibility. I'm going to get one more zodiac sign just because this also came out in pile 1. Okay. So we've got earth sign energy and we have air. So I feel like with Virgo energy, I mentioned this in pile 1, I was like, you're going to be in your Beyonce phase. And that is kind of the dynamic with Beyonce and Jay-Z. I mean, they're really like equally in control of their own careers, you know, like they are equally like successful in their own right. They're a power couple, right? Like they would be an example of a power couple. Regardless of how you feel about their relationship, that's another story. But Virgo energy, okay? So you're going to be in your Beyonce phase. But with Libra here too, it makes me think of aesthetic, of beauty, of charm. I feel like in combination, like these two in combination are really great together because this is that hardworking, attention to detail, like get it done energy. And this is let's make everything beautiful, let's be gracious, let's find balance, let's compromise. You did have temperance energy, right? Like Libra is all about balance in the scales. Even though temperance is associated with Sagittarius, like just seeing the scales here and thinking of balance with temperance, I do feel like that echoes Libra a bit as well. So I feel like it's really beautiful energy to have coming through in tandem and working together. And it makes sense too that like when you're in love, you would be represented by Libra. You know, Libra is Venus energy, so this is the energy of partnership, of love, of romance. So that works out really well as well. I'm gonna stop talking. All right, so let's end with your oracle card. Oh my gosh, we had creativity. Creativity is a natural part of you that can be ignited and developed. Yes, that co-creation, that Empress energy. These are also in my head like two very feminine signs. So again, like that Empress energy, like connecting to that divine feminine, like I'm gonna co-create with the universe, and then I'm going to sit back and like be ready to receive more blessings. Like it's beautiful energy. I just feel like you're gonna be really manifesting a lot because you're gonna be so inspired. You're gonna feel like, wow, if I can attract this kind of person into my life, then the sky is the limit. I can do anything. And their love is gonna feel so supportive and so nurturing. So I love to see this for you, Pile 2. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you always know when I upload. If you want to see more future spouse readings, just put it down in the comments. Or if you have other video suggestions, I'm happy to do those as well. And I will see you guys in my next one. Please take care, Pile 2. All right, all my Pile 3s, if you chose the black and white kitty cat, welcome to your reading. So we're gonna save that oracle for the very end, and we're gonna start with your tarot. So Pile 3, how is your future spouse changing your life? Pile 3, how is their future spouse changing their life, please, Spirit? A big thank you to my guides and your guides for coordinating these messages. Pile 3. So Pile 1 and Pile 2 were very positive, so hopefully you guys continue the trend. I don't want any divorces or anything like that to come up. Pile 3, how is your future spouse changing your life? Pile 3, let's see. Pile 3. Okay, so we have the Princess of Cups to start us out. Oh wow, lots of court cards here. We have the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Cups. Interesting. I'm gonna move these up a little bit. Sorry, this flipped over. Oh my gosh, Knight of Swords, seriously? The Devil, oh my goodness. Pile 3, how is your future spouse changing your life? Okay, 4 of Cups, interesting. Bottom of the deck, we have 10 of Swords. I feel like this is really significant in your reading. So, couple things here. I feel like you guys have been through a lot in love, a lot. And for some of you, it may have just been that you've been single for a really, really long time, or maybe you've never had a significant relationship before you meet your partner, or you've had your heart broken a lot. There's just been this disappointment and this feeling of betrayal, like you can't trust anyone, and this general feeling of dissatisfaction within your interpersonal relationships. So that could be family, friends, past romantic partners, whatever the case may be. But with the Four of Cups here and the Ten of Swords, it's like you've been disappointed so much that you feel really jaded. Like you just feel apathetic towards love. You just feel like, just why even bother at this point? And it's funny because I feel like your future spouse comes in and they sort of meet everything that you sort of originally had on your checklist. Like everything that you thought love should be, they represent that. They really come in and they kind of quite shock you. Because I feel like you lost faith or belief that someone like that could even exist or come into your reality. Like, as I feel like you're in this sort of Queen of Swords guarded energy here. Because again, like you just feel like you've been through so much, like who could blame you? Who could blame you? And so, you know, maybe you're a bit sarcastic at times, or maybe you're a bit intimidating to other people, or maybe you're just a bit closed off. You don't want to talk about your feelings, your emotions, because you've been burned so much in the past. Like you just keep your heart close to you keep your cards close to your chest. You keep your heart to yourself. You know, you just don't open up that easily, and if at all, really. And you've been through so much. So, like, it makes sense, but when your future spouse comes in, it's very cute because they put you in this Princess of Cups energy. This is so different. This is so different. Like, they bring out this flirty side to you that hasn't really seen the light of day, I think, in quite a long time. And I think you're a bit smitten with them because they have that emotional intelligence that you've been wanting, but they also have that witty side to them where they can keep up with your sarcasm, they can keep up with the banter. You know, so they're really meeting your intellectual and your emotional needs. But with the Devil here, there's such passion. There's such passion. And I mean, I don't feel like you have felt physically attracted to someone like this in a very long time, if ever. And I don't feel like you've ever had this kind of physical chemistry with anyone like this. You know, this just feels like true intimacy. This is a different kind of passion that I don't feel like you've been able to experience before. And I also feel like with the Devil card here, there's also this feeling of kind of letting go of those limiting beliefs, okay? Because the Devil, like, yeah, it can talk about addiction and substances, but it can also talk about intangible things that we're chained to, and that can be limiting beliefs. And so maybe you have a very pessimistic view of love and what that can mean for you. And so they represent a shift in that, and you're able to let that go with judgment. This is your good karma, because I don't feel like you've ever really sought out to break anyone's heart, and yet you've had your heart broken and you've been betrayed even though you've tried to be a good person. So I feel like this is your good karma coming in. It feels like a shift in your luck. And with the Eight of Pentacles here, it also feels like this gives you greater confidence too in your career. There's something about your future spouse kind of lining up with your career in some way. Can we get some more information about this Eight of Pentacles? Oh my gosh, Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. Beautiful to see that. Oh my gosh, Ten of Cups and Justice. Justice, yeah, it feels like justice is being served. Bottom of the deck here, we have Two of Pentacles. It almost feels like you were struggling in your life. Like you were really, really struggling with, I think, multiple things that were going on that were kind of really sort of displeasing you and upsetting you, and just really making you feel like you can't catch a break, you can't win for losing. And it's like your future spouse comes in and they coincide with this change in your luck. It feels like the universe is smiling down on you, like the universe is finally working with you and not against you. Because I feel like maybe you felt like that was happening for a while. You were like, what did I do to deserve this? And then your future spouse comes in and they just represent this like wish fulfillment, this happiness, this contentment. And now you're juggling a lot. You're working really hard, but you don't feel like you're working towards nothing. You finally feel like you're able to win with justice. Like, this is your justice. Like, you're getting what you deserve. And with the Eight of Pentacles, I feel like you've been hard at work on something for a long time, but your efforts weren't being recognized. Like, you weren't seeing the fruits of your labor yet. And now it's like you finally are. And it just coincides with your future spouse coming into your life. It just feels like finally I'm on an upswing. Like, my love life is going well, my career, my finances is going well. And it could be too that maybe your future spouse is wealthy and they help you in some way in your career, or they give you good advice, or they set you up with the right people. They introduce you to the right connections, the right opportunities. They show you how to network. Maybe you guys work in the same field and they're, a bit more advanced than you, but there's just something there about them coming into your life is lining up with this advancement in your career and your finances. Absolutely. Okay. I got so many more cards for you guys than I did the other groups, but pile 3 is always a bit different. All right, let's see here. Pile 3. How is your future spouse changing your life? Pile 3, how is your future spouse changing your life? Pile 3, how is your future spouse changing your life? Okay, bottom of the deck we have moonlit baths. Take it easy, relaxation, rest, and pause. I feel like you're going to need that. I feel like that's just advice from Spirit, because you did get the 2 of Pentacles and you were in the 10 of Swords energy, so you've been through a lot. So when you need to take a break, because I do feel like you're going to be working really hard during this time period. We have alien planet, make yourself at home, adaptability, change, and originality. I feel like this sort of almost like this Aquarius energy from you, where you've just always felt like the odd one out. You felt like the black sheep, and you just don't feel like you're of this world, like you're just almost kind of like a bit like Lana Del Rey energy of just feeling very kind of like this soft romanticism to you. And people mistake that for weakness, and I feel like they take advantage of you because they don't see your strength, and you are so strong, but they don't see it. And so I feel like your future spouse comes in and they see you for who you are, like they really see you. They don't pigeonhole you as this weak person. And I feel like as well, like you're going through this recognition of self, like you're finally seeing yourself and your worth, which is beautiful. But I also feel like a lot of what this change is talking about is lining up with your career path, with your soul's purpose. We also have afterlife, where are we going now, transition, transformation, and rebirth. And then you also have the last chapter, write your own story, closure, resolution, and forgiveness. Yes, I feel like your future spouse, like them rekindling your belief and your faith in love and humanity and people allows you to forgive those you need to forgive, allows you to heal, allows you to transform and to move on. And through that forgiveness, it's like you get your justice, you get your good karma with judgment. Like you clear out that energy, you cut those cords that aren't serving you, and you move on. And it's sort of like the best revenge is happiness. Like that is what is on the other side, is happiness. And I feel like that's why you're getting this blessing in your finances and your career, because all of that energy that was holding you down, like you have finally let it go. Like you no longer believe that the world is out to get you. Now you believe the universe is working for you. Like it's so powerful. It's so powerful. And it's like the universe has just been patiently waiting for you to see this so that they could step in and help you and reward you with this wish fulfillment and this happiness and all these blessings that I feel like you weren't seeing it before. Energy, yes. I mean, this is not an energetic like state to be in. Like this is knocked down and out. And like, yes, this is resilience, but this is also apathy, like just not even caring anymore. And finally you care again. Like when you wake up in the morning, you have energy, you have a sense of purpose, you know you're stepping through a new door. Like you feel energized in your life, you are excited, you no longer dread waking up in the morning and getting out of your bed. Like that is the change that your future spouse brings to you. With this corn, I don't know why, I just started to think about Pocahontas, and when they kept telling her, John Smith kept saying about this gold, and she said, "Are you talking about this?" Like this idea that I think value, like what is valuable, that idea of value has changed for you. It's funny, it's so funny. The universe is so funny. I feel like you likely, because of this disappointment in love and people, threw yourself into your career without seeing the results that you wanted to see. And it's like the moment you disconnect from that sort of obsessive kind of workaholic kind of, guarded Queen of Swords, perfectionistic sort of energy, the minute you get out of that and you start to just be and you enjoy your work for the sake of your work, it's like then and you see value in the intangible, you see value in love again, where you didn't see value before because you associated love with hurt and pain. You never knew true love before, and now you do, and now you see value in connection with other people where before you didn't because of that betrayal. That is when the universe now gifts you all the financial success that you have wanted. And you're sort of like, well, like where was this the whole time? But it's like we wanted you to learn this lesson, though. We wanted you to learn this lesson. We wanted you to understand that there is more to life than your career. And the minute you do, we can give you the career success of your dreams, because now we know that you're not going to let that success go to your head, and you're not going to be obsessively focused on your career and not see the value in everything else, mainly connection and love. So I feel like with ritual here too, your daily routine is changing drastically, and I feel like that's because you're socializing more, you're spending time with this person more, you're getting out of your comfort zone more. This gold is also just making me think like, Leo energy. I mean, you also have 10 here as well. So I feel like there's just a lot of stability and a lot of happiness. There's a lot of generosity here too. When I think of like corn and again, like Pocahontas, I don't know, is why that keeps coming up, but that generosity, that sharing, right? Because she shares her culture, right, with John Smith. She shares her traditions, and like, yeah, so there's just this feeling here of sharing as well. I feel like you're just so much more open. You're so much more open now. Like that guarded energy, like you no longer think that everyone is out to screw you over. Like you're now so much more trusting. And yeah, and I feel like also with ritual and productivity here, you now also understand that rest is productive. Having fun is productive. Like that helps your creativity. That helps your energy level in the long term. If you just work, you burn out. And in the long term, that's not productive. So getting out of that hustle culture mentality and understanding the value in resting and having fun and socializing and having a full life. Having a full life, that's the key phrase here, I think. You're having you're having a life that is well-rounded and is filled with love, not just, a successful career. You're going to have a full, abundant life. You're going to have a prosperous life in more areas than just career, okay? But that is coming. That is like coinciding with this change, I should say. But yeah, okay. Let's see what zodiac sign. I feel like I'm starting to repeat myself, so I will say too, I just like all the orange and yellow colors I'm seeing here. I meant to say in pile 1 that they had so much green and it was reminding me of the heart chakra. You guys are reminding me of the sacral and the solar plexus. I'm gonna have to put that in the description box if I can remember for pile 1, or maybe in the comments. I hate when I forget to say something and then it pops up so much later. Okay, pile 3. What zodiac sign are you embodying as a result of meeting your future spouse? This doesn't have to obviously be your sun sign. Ooh, we have Capricorn. We'll get one more. Sagittarius. Love it, love it, love it. I wasn't gonna get to, but something told me to get to, and I'm so glad that I did, because this is literally arguably the hardest working zodiac sign, and this is arguably the zodiac sign that has the most fun. It is the most like free, and this is the explorer. This is someone who is very sociable, very outgoing, someone who speaks their truth, lives their truth. This is Nicki Minaj energy, and this is Nene Leakes energy. Capricorn, this is, let me think of a Capricorn. Who is a Capricorn? Oh man, I should know a famous Capricorn. The only Capricorn I can think of is Heather on Real Housewives of Orange County, which isn't maybe the best example. Who is a Capricorn? Comment down below if you know a Capricorn celebrity that I'm missing. I'm just not thinking of a Capricorn. But anyway, so this is beautiful, because remember in the very beginning you had that message. Where is it? Oh, 2 of Pentacles, here it is. You had that message of balance, of juggling like multiple things. Yes, so I feel like this is echoing that sentiment really well, that even your demeanor, you're going between working hard, not hustling, working hard, but then also having fun. Like, this is, the Sagittarius energy is what your future spouse is bringing in. You are already, I think, probably in that Capricorn energy where you're really self-disciplined. This is like, well, now let's have some fun. Let's, have some self-compassion as well. Yeah, this is beautiful. Okay, let's see what your final oracle card has to say. Oh my gosh, we have prosperity. Yeah, and the orange and the yellow, right? It says, know that you deserve all things wondrous and believe that you can have them. That's really what it is. I think for a while you didn't believe that, love could exist for you, that real love, true love was out there for you. And now you feel so prosperous, but it's not just in career and finances. You feel prosperous in all aspects of your life, especially in love and connection. So, it's like healing your heart in some weird karmic justice card judgment way. The universe wanted you to heal your heart, and when you heal your heart, the universe is like, okay, so now they can have all the career success and abundance in the world. We just wanted them to learn this lesson first before we helped them out. And you're like, seriously? And the universe is like, seriously. And it's because they didn't want you to work yourself into the ground and money be the only thing that you have. They didn't want that. They didn't want you to have a lonely life, okay? But yes, pile 3, this was your reading. I hope this resonated. Oh, I forgot to mention in the very beginning, especially because you have prosperity and you had so many court cards, also makes me think that if you're wanting to have children, definitely a possibility with your future spouse. If you're not interested in that, leave that message, but I did forget to mention that. Okay, pile 3, take care. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you always know when I upload. I don't know if I said that spiel yet. I am so grateful to all the support I've gotten on this channel. You guys are so incredibly kind, so thank you. Take care, pile 3, and I will see you in my next one.